Moving on to our next segment, it is Soundbite. Everyone's favorite segment, and in case you forget what that is, I'm going to tell you one more time. Soundbite is where Steve and I react to different clips of people doing some things, players saying stuff in a post-game interview, a podcast, whatever the case may be. Someone says something we want to take a listen to, we listen. So today's Soundbite is a rather dangerous situation coming out of the MLB. Fans charging onto the field and being tackled, and it's just not a good look for the league at large. So let's take a look at that. So there you have it. Those two fans, Steve, you said they were charged. Was that today that they brought? And what did they get charged with?
They were charged with trespassing and disturbing the peace.
This is, like I said, very scary stuff. This is a very dangerous situation. There's a lot of moving pieces to it. Steve, you wanted to go first, so the floor is yours, my friend. Take it away.
Ronald Acuña Jr. is considered to be probably a superstar in the MLB. I mean, he's batting .335 right now, which is fourth in the MLB. He's got 29 home runs, which is tied for 12th, and he's fifth in OPS. How is there no police? How is there no security on the perimeter to chase and stop these guys? And it looked like the people that ran out there weren't even security to begin with. They were just random staffers that the ballpark went around and said, hey, if you see anyone run on the field, chase your happy ass out there and pick them up. Allowing one is bad, but then allowing a second who came in like 30 seconds after the first initial encounter and got more physical, this is just not a good look for Major League Baseball. It's not a good look for sports. And athletes quite frequently have said that they don't like fan engagement, certain things in different sports. And so I'm interested to see, what some baseball players around the league are going to come out and say about this, because player safety has to be kept at an all-time high.
It's not great. Those guys should have never been able to get that close or get onto the field in the first place. And I just kind of want to focus on it's a weird but not situation, because that first fan who was on the field with Acuña Jr., it looked like they were just getting a picture, that, he wasn't trying to do anything. And then the second guy, once the first guy gets tackled by security, the second guy's like, yo, who wants to smoke? And then he also runs up, and that's when the whole disturbance happened. You can even see the first guy, he's not really resisting. I think he grabs on to Acuña Jr. because it's shock, and he's kind of what are they going to do if I'm holding on to him? Yeah, I think he just didn't know what to do. But then once he gets off of him, he doesn't resist. It's the second guy that causes the issues. And you said this to me when you first showed this to me. What if that guy had a knife? Or what if that guy was crazy and went up and was acting all cool, and then all of a sudden he turns out to be a crazy person? You see, I feel like MLB people running onto the field is the number one way fans cause a ruckus like that. You don't see people running on to NFL fields or NBA courts. It seems like it's always people running on baseball fields, but it must be the easiest. But why? Why are they not? Why is it so easy to break into a baseball field?
And I actually have an answer for that. So in basketball, the court's this big. So surrounding the perimeter of the court is pretty easy. Yeah. But in baseball, the fans are literally around the entire thing. Yeah. And there's nothing keeping them in until you're behind the backstop. So all of these people out here, it's just a fall. That's it.
Yeah, that's one. But then
fall, and
there's got to be but that's what I'm saying. That why is there not something in place that to stop them from being able to get access to the field? Like I get what you're saying. It's you no way to block it off because of how baseball fields are designed or stadiums are designed. But yeah, I don't know. There's just got to be something. It's not a good look.
I would imagine that in the coming years, the MLB will address this because maybe they didn't need to back in the 50s and 60s and 70s, but today's world, you probably are going to want to go to player safety.
Why all of a sudden, like, are fans getting worse and worse? Like, people throwing things at concerts, fans running onto the court or the field and just being silly. Like, I just don't. Why all of a sudden, like, within the last year, are people ramping up 2 years, ramping up the fan engagement?
And then there was that NBA fan who tried to glue herself to the court in protest.
Oh, the protest lady, yeah.
Yeah. So, like,
people dumping food on Westbrook. That was a couple years ago, though. What? Something else happened recently. I don't remember.
I've got a hot take for you real quick. It's not really a hot take, but it's just something that needs to be said. Fans need to appreciate that the sports that they get to watch is a privilege because those guys don't have to be out there. Sports don't have to be going on. And they could definitely make the game enjoyment and interaction worse by completely blocking you off from it and not allowing you to be. So it's like fans need to understand that it's a privilege to be as close to the players as you can be and not cross that line.
Imagine we pretend that athletes aren't real people. Like, imagine if you were like in the street and some person ran up and started bear hugging you and like trying to that. Athletes as normal people, if they're in these situations with heckling or fans' actions, can handle it a whole different way. But the fact that they have the know-how to act professional and keep their composure, like, that's all part of the job. And really, they don't have to do that. No. They can take it a lot of different ways. And I don't think, now they'll probably get fined, but I don't think the public eye would be real negative unless it was like brutal, like you're almost killing someone. But if you're like, shoving, like, I think it would be like, what do you expect?
Yeah, exactly. No, very well said.
So that was today's soundbite. Make sure if you're at baseball games, you're not running onto the field and bear hugging players for selfies because you will be tackled. There's solid evidence now. So be on the lookout. All right. Listen to the sound. I listen to the sound.